here's the games that are under the radar. You kind of beat me to the punch earlier in the show.
Oh, you're into that one.
Seattle, I think there are two things that Seattle fans know is more likely than not. More likely than not, their team won't have a first-round draft choice, so they'll trade out of the first round. And more likely than not, the NFL is going to start them in the Eastern time zone. It seems like every single year they start on the Eastern time zone. They're either in Atlanta or Carolina or someplace like that. This time they're in Indianapolis, and I can't wait for this game, certainly since it'll be Carson Wentz behind his new offensive line with his new team and his same old coach, but his new coach and his new setup. And let's see what they look like against the Seattle Seahawks. And let's see if Kwity Paye and the rest of that defense can go hunt and already put the pressure on Russell Wilson and thus the team writ large if Russell's not protected. You know, and DK Metcalf with his 100-meter speed will be out there, and I can't wait to see what that game looks like. That is an outstanding game that will be lost amongst the marquee games of Sunday night and Sunday late afternoon. And yes, even the Jets at Sam Darnold will be a game that I think will get a lot more run than what's going on in Indianapolis on that day. Don, put that board back up again if you don't mind. Next up, Battle of the Birds, everybody. The Atlanta Falcons taking on the Philadelphia Eagles. Jalen Hurts getting the start in what I do believe will be his one-year audition for the Philadelphia Eagles. If he does not, for Nick Sirianni, figure it out fast enough or well enough over the full year, they will have, because of what I assume Carson Wentz will look like in his first year in Indianapolis, 3 first-round selections for the Philadelphia Eagles. And if things go totally off the wall, I mean totally off the wall, and it's possible, it's entirely possible, although I doubt it, because I think if he does get traded, he will be suspended for the first week of the season. That could be Deshaun Watson's new team, and Jalen Hurts is the caretaker for Deshaun Watson in Philadelphia. That is totally off the wall. And then you've got Atlanta, Arthur Smith, the new head coach right there. We're assuming Julio Jones will be out there and not some sort of cap trade that goes down after June 1. And then, boy, would it put the pressure on Philadelphia if, hometown kid, because everybody thinks he's from Boston, but he is from Pennsylvania. Matt Ryan comes out there, beats Philadelphia in week number 1, and throws a couple touchdowns to the guy that all Eagles fans hoped that they would get in the draft in Kyle Pitts. I can't wait to see Pitts' first game against the Eagles, and that will be a battle of the birds that I cannot wait to see, but will, I think, get somewhat pushed down under the radar. And then the last game that I've got here will absolutely be under the radar. There's no question about it. Anytime you talk about Chargers, that's under the radar. And then Washington football team. These are two teams that I can't wait to see play one another. I cannot wait to see Fitz, his first game, crazy-ass Ryan Fitzpatrick and the Washington football team and all of those track meet guys that they have out there at his disposal, out there against the Los Angeles Chargers. We're going to have Derwin James back out there. Justin Herbert, year 2. Let's see what he looks like. And he's got Chase Young to deal with and a new left tackle, the kid from Northwestern that they drafted to try and protect him, Slater, and see how he can handle that. And then, just in case we don't have enough dynamic, the Ohio State born pass rushers in the game, you got Joey Bosa going for Ryan Fitzpatrick, whose beard should be probably as long as his knees at the time. I cannot wait for Herbert versus Fitzpatrick. There may be 1,000 yards passing in this game, or there may not be. I don't know, but you got the defending NFC East champs hosting the Los Angeles Chargers. To me, that is a game that I will absolutely be under the radar, but one I wanted to point out right here. Just gets the juices flowing, doesn't it?
Yeah, I like that. And you're right. Nobody is going to be talking about that game. However, the hype for Herbert coming into this season is through the roof.
Yeah, it really is.
Already, so.
Especially from the sports card world, Rich. Like a Justin Herbert right now is like having a Michael Jordan.
I'm telling you, there's a huge, I'll give you a bonus one. Here's a bonus one. We know it's not graphically supported.
Rich, by the way, Taylor Heineke is calling in right now about that.
Good.
About what you just said.
Good. So here's a bonus one. No one's talking about this because you look at the late afternoon games on week 1. You've got Browns and Chiefs. You've got Saints and Packers. And you've got Dolphins and Patriots. And if it is Mac Jones versus Tua and it's the Saban Bowl for Bill Belichick, that would be off the charts. And then the Broncos and the Giants would get shoved even further down the radar. But you've got the Broncos, and, everyone's going to absolutely be overlooking them completely.
Unless they have Aaron Rodgers.
And then there's the Giants, who we'll see, everybody's talking about this is the year for Daniel Jones, and it'll be Saquon back out there, and we'll see what he looks like, and Von Miller back out there. We'll see what he looks like. And, Rich Eisen Show at-home producer, Mike Hoskins, pointed this out on an email chain today. I totally forgot about it. This will be 9/12/21. On 9/10/2001, the Giants played the Broncos on Monday Night Football. It was the last NFL game played the day before 9/11. The Giants had just landed in New Jersey, and that's when all things went awful, and the world changed across the Hudson River, and they had just landed, and they got in just before everything happened on 9/11. I do believe this will be one day after the 20-year anniversary of 9/11, and there will be a certain very moving component to that game, certainly in the state of New Jersey, that I think the NFL purposefully put Broncos-Giants in Week 1 just for that reason. I believe that. And that's an under-the-radar game as well for week number 1. Hey, you watched all the way to the end. Thanks for that. Watch more right here.